Hi there, Evan here at Demochronicle for Tuesday, January 28th, 2020, where the future starts today. First topic I want to cover, OSFI's looking into amending the stress test, which, as it works right now, when you get a mortgage through one of the chartered banks, you're stress tested at a rate, either at the Bank of Canada qualifying rate plus 2 percentage points, or the rate the lender gives you plus 2 percentage points, whichever one is higher. Under this amendment, the Bank of Canada qualifying rate side is removed, and you only get a stress test on the rate the lender gives you plus 2 percentage points. For 80 to 85% of borrowers, this rate is lower anyhow, so for them, it is stimulative. Overall, for the market, it is stimulative. That much I'm not going to deny. Now, there's two things at play here that are going to more than counteract this. First, HELOC amortization. How many stories have you heard out there lately where people are having an interest-only HELOC transitioned over into a traditional mortgage? And anytime an interest-only loan is changed over to a standard principal plus interest loan, the payments are always higher. And remember, HELOCs are about 15% of Canada's GDP, and as we see HELOC delinquencies start to pick up here in 2020, you're going to hear a lot more of this as lenders go to control risk. So there's that element to it. And secondly, this is something I've mentioned on here a couple of times, and I'm probably the only YouTuber harping this. Rising unemployment. In the spring, it's going to start being reported in the mainstream that unemployment is up in Canada year over year. Those of you who say, oh, wait for the spring, not for the reasons you think it is. Close that one off. OSFI is going to keep the stress test in some form. Those two factors are going to more than counteract any accommodative, stimulative effects that are going to come of the amendment. All there is to it. Secondly, I'm going to cover the coronavirus here quick. Now again, before I do, I am not an epidemiologist. I am not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. My channel, as you know, is macroeconomics. That's what we follow here. A great YouTube channel and website, though, that has been on this pretty much since day one is peakprosperity.com. Overlaid on the screen here, I have the YouTube channel, which I will link in the description. They've been doing almost daily video updates on this, and the reporting has been fantastic. Links will be in the description. All we know still is it's a highly contagious disease, and there could be up to a 2-week lag from when you're actually infected to when you actually know you have the virus. And in that time, you're contagious, you can spread it. And even after the outbreak was known, how many people were still on airplanes going around the world, and how many people were going on trains across China. So for sure it spread. And a personal feeling I have, I know many of you share this on Twitter also from what I've seen. Take whatever number they give you, as for how many are infected, add a 0, that's the real number. If it was truly contained, then why the heck are they rushing to build a big mobile hospital in Wuhan? No one's been able to answer that for me. So my feeling, the number is about 10 times what they're saying it is. But again, it's merely a personal feeling. Now back to the economic side. There's going to be two impacts from this, not just to the Chinese economy, but to the global economy also. Firstly, the citywide lockdowns are going to affect travel both domestically and international. If there's one thing the Chinese do, and we know this, it's they travel and they spend. So there's going to be a hit to the global economy from that. And secondly, think of the supply chain. Chinese factories are now going into quarantine from this. And that's clearly going to impact the global supply chain. So to wrap it up, those are going to be the two big economic impacts from this, both in China and globally. And for an almost daily update on this, follow Peak Prosperity. Both links will be in the description. And the last story I'm going to cover today, notice the US Fed's balance sheet has stopped growing in the past couple of weeks. And notice what's happened in the stock market the last about week or so. In my yearly predictions for 2020, I did predict that the Fed was going to try and get out of QE infinity in Q1, and that was going to cause a stock market correction, which would then force the Fed back in, have one last blow off top, and then a big bear market again at the end of the third quarter or fourth quarter of this year. You got to remember, these yearly predictions only come off about 30% of the time, so there's that. And also, one area in that prediction I'm already wrong on. I thought bonds and stocks were going to sell off together, but the bond market is pricing in the global economic impact from the coronavirus, as I mentioned before, so the bond market's gotten out ahead of it and bid up the bond market again. So that part I've been wrong on. Now, as with stocks and the balance sheet, is the balance sheet going to stop growing or is it going to grow again? Again, who knows? If anything changes here, I'll keep you posted. That's all I'm going to say. Smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, follow both my Twitter accounts. And as always, my name is Evan. This is the Chronicle, where the future starts today.